Well, I recently went on a big roller coaster trip going from New York down to Atlanta, up to Ohio and Toronto in Canada. And yeah, I almost covered every major theme/amusement park in the areas. I visited a total of 9 different parks and we rode many different roller coasters, many new credits right here, but there were some surprising roller coasters, but also some very disappointing ones. Well, let's not be that negative in this video. Let's talk about the biggest winners of my USA/Canada coaster trip. But just before talking about the first roller coaster, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more roller coaster videos like these. Now, coming in as the first winner of this USA coaster trip, we got the new for 2025 Raptor at King's Dominion. This next generation B&M wing coaster did really surprise me, and we saw those off-ride videos of the ride testing where you can see the bumpy track when it launches, and well, you couldn't really feel that in real life. The launch was punchy and awesome. And surprisingly, it also turns out that I did like the back row better on the left side because you get pulled with airtime over that wave turn/top hat, and the rest of the roller coaster is pretty speedy compared to a B&M wing coaster. On top of that, each of the inversions were also unique. You got the big floaty dive loop, it was awesome, filled with positive G-forces, and you got some different transitions with a bit of airtime and forces here and there. I must say, Raptor might be one of my favorite B&M wing coasters in the whole world, and yeah, you can feel the difference between a next-gen B&M and the former ones because the roller coaster has a bit of rattle even though it's a wing coaster. And coming in as the next winner, we're staying at King's Dominion with Twisted Timbers. This RMC hybrid coaster is really awesome. Glad they removed/refurbished Hurler. Oh my god, Hurler is bad. But with that being said, this small to medium-sized RMC coaster really did exceed my expectations. I didn't really know this ride were that punchy. The airtime hills are filled with crazy ejector all the way through. Yeah, you can't really describe how relentless and forceful these moments are. You just have to experience it. My bum were out of the seat all of the time, and perhaps one of the most intense moments is that small outer whippy bank thingy under the lift hill. Holy moly, that's aggressive. Now I must confess, I have always thought that Untamed were the better RMC coaster, but now I have ridden Twisted Timbers, it is better. Wow. Now moving on to the next park, we got a big winner right here. I'm talking about Fury 325 at Carowinds. Well, you see, Fury 325 has always been one of the best steel roller coasters in the world. Everyone is basically praising this roller coaster, so my expectations were very high, and well, the ride delivered big time. Oh well, my biggest concern about this ride was always that airtime, because I know it's filled with airtime in the end, but I'm an airtime lover. Relentless airtime RMCs, that's what I love, but this one delivered. Fury 325 is just fast, filled with an amazing first drop, the tallest coaster with a lift hill, and those high speed transitions are amazing, especially those low to the ground transitions in the front row. This ride was so fast that you can't even close your eyes while riding, and I have never tried that before. Fury 325 for me is just miles ahead compared to the other Giga coasters. Now we're yet again staying in the same park with one of the biggest surprises of the trip. We got Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. Wow. Before riding this coaster, I just thought, well, a decent lengthy Mach Rides coaster with great hang time moments and a bit of airtime, and this did exceed everything. It's filled with amazing hang time moments, punchy elements, ejector airtime, twists and turns. If you really like roller coasters with a lot of variety, this one is for you, because this Mach Rides launch coaster has everything. Even that JoJo roll in the start is awesome, and well, you have 2 launches and they are not that great, but who even cares, because the rest of those elements are amazing. Sorry about the voice crack, let's just move on. Well, let's move down to Georgia, where we got Daredevil Dive at Six Flags Over Georgia. And even though the queue line is horrible, filled with an hour of no shade at all, the ride was really surprising. But listen up, we got this very weird 6-seater Gerstlauer Eurofighter coaster with an awesome beyond vertical drop, and yeah, we took the front row right here. And what saves the ride is really that lap bar, because we know Gerstlauers are known for being, you know, quite rattly and a bit uncomfortable. That typical uncomfortable Gerstlauer rattle was gone because of the lap bar. As I said just before, the ride was punchy, filled with airtime and some whippy elements, and the last hang time fill inversion version is also awesome. So quite surprising roller coaster. And we're yet again staying in this park for another surprising ride, and that is Batman the Ride at, well, Six Flags Over Georgia. Now listen up, the day before I rode Air Force 1 at Fun Spot Atlanta, and a fellow coaster enthusiast told me, well, don't sleep on Batman the Ride at Over Georgia because that might be one of the best inverted coasters in the world. And yeah, I thought he is just saying that because he's local and he's pretty biased, but it turns out Batman the Ride in the back row is crazy. But he was right, the first section is okay with the 2 vertical loops and the 0G roll, but the second half with the corkscrew and twist and turns, holy moly, the speed is insane and the forces, it is so whippy. I actually thought it was going to be the other way around with a great first half and, well, a decent second half, but no, Batman says no. Now let's move all the way up to Indiana where we got the Raven at Holiday World. First of all, I must say this park is amazing, it's clean and they serve free soft drinks, but all of my expectations were really turned around. But I might make another video about that, but let's focus on the Raven, the smallest of these major / big wooden coasters in this park. This ride really did surprise me, holy moly, filled with amazing drops, many airtime moments, especially in the back row. Yeah, I get it, all of these big wooden coasters at Holiday World are great, but still intense and very shaky. Even though the Raven might feature some of the most discomfortable wooden coaster moments in this park, I still like it. It was violent. I just thought this Woody was going to be a decent family coaster, but it knocked my socks off and, well, a kid cried in front of me sadly. Now let's go up north in Ohio where we got Millennium Force at Cedar Point. And this might be one of the biggest redemption / glow up stories in terms of ride experiences for me, because I did go to Cedar Point last year in May 2024 and, well, I did also go this year with Søren because he wanted to go there because we know it's the roller coaster mecca in the world. But listen up, I finally decided to go in line. Well, we waited an hour, perhaps more, because Millennium Force was in one train operation, and then I decided to YOLO and wait for the front row, and that was another 30 minutes. Yeah, that front row ride on Millennium Force was iconic. You could feel the speed and intensity, and surprisingly I could feel airtime, sustained floater on those big airtime moments, which only elevated the ride experience. Out of 10 I could give Millennium Force 1 or 2 extra points right here. And spoiler alert, that front row ride was a bit better than 1 or 2 other Gigas, but that's a secret for now. So coming in as the final and most exceptional ride experience out there, I have the Beast at Kings Island, and we're talking night rides. Well, you see, the Beast during the day is just a decent wooden coaster for me, and remember, this is the world's longest wooden roller coaster since 1979. But listen up, a night ride on the Beast in pitch black darkness flying through the forest is just a next level experience, and we waited hours for this ride because we had to wait for the fireworks. You know, we got the show with drones and then we have to wait even more after that. Now I must say, riding the Beast in pitch black darkness, it feels like a Giga roller coaster in terms of speed, and you can't really see the different tunnels incoming, you know. And no, I'm not overhyping this ride experience, it really is different, and you know, the Beast night rides are iconic. There were really a lot of people waiting in line. The night rides on this coaster is so iconic that the last people are leaving the park 2 hours after closure. And there you have it, we have now gone through some of the biggest surprising / winning roller coasters for my USA / Canada trip right here, and let me know in the comments below if you have ridden some of these. Do you feel the same way, or do you have some other roller coasters that were quite exceptional when you rode it? Now please consider liking, commenting and subscribing for more videos like these. Then at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.